Good morning, people. I just wanted to explain to you guys how you're going to do the assignment that you're doing in class today. You're going to be discussing whether or not Napoleon was a hero or a villain of the revolution. Um, kind of depends on your opinion, but it is going to be resource based. So the assignment when I post it is going to look like this. I haven't posted it yet because I want to attach this video to it, so you got a bit of an explanation from me on how to do it. So in case you forget, here it is. So to do this assignment, you're not really working with primary sources. It's kind of like as if you're working with like a textbook resource, but it is going to be argument driven, and you are going to need to use these documents as resources to write a response that I'm going to explain to you in the assignment below. Okay, so let's go ahead and open both of these up. So we got these both. Okay, so all of your work needs to be done on this Google Doc. Shockingly enough, it's like it's almost the only thing we use this year, but you know, it is what it is. We do what we have to do. You're going to use this Google Doc to answer questions about each of the resource cards before you write a letter to Napoleon. I'll explain that letter at the end of it. So each one of these sets of questions is tied to a resource card. On the PDF attached to Classroom, it literally says resource card on each of the resources. So for instance, if I've got your 3 questions for resource card number 1, what do you think you're doing? You're looking at resource card number 1 and you're answering some questions, okay? Same thing goes for resource card number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Those of you who did not do your reading notes, this is going to be a little tougher for you to do because you don't quite understand a lot of the different deals with Napoleon. That's just something you're going to have to deal with. I don't know what to tell you. You got to learn how to read to prepare for class. But you're going to look at all these resource cards. You're going to answer a couple of questions about each. I'm looking for in-depth, descriptive answers. Okay, a couple words isn't going to work. So, like, in what ways did Napoleon's rule affect his European empire? If you put badly, you're going to not get credit for that. Okay, I need you to look at the resource card. Okay, so let's see, number 3. Okay, you need to look at the resource card, and if I've got this amount of text for you to read and get through, like this amount of information, for instance, 3 different wars known as the Napoleonic Wars and the end of his empire, the Battle of Leipzig. Okay, if you're only going to tell me like, well, he caused wars, it's like, again, no, give me an in-depth answer. You're in an AP class, give me an AP answer. All right. Same thing goes with everything else. And then once you're done, you're going to come down here and write me a little response. Okay. So I want you to write a letter to the little man. Okay. I wasn't in class to tell you about this, but if you read about it, you probably realized he wasn't really that short. Napoleon is actually about 5'10", 5'8" to 5'10", which is the average height for his time. Of course, like enter the joke, you know, like all guys under 6 feet are really short. It's like, no, that's not true. The actual myth about Napoleon being this really tiny little guy came from British propaganda. They wanted everyone in the world to think that Napoleon had a little man syndrome because they were trying to convince the rest of the world that Napoleon actually sucked and he was a horrible little tiny man dictator. And as you can see, propaganda kind of worked. It's been working for over 200 years now. But anyway, I love the joke, so I had to say thanks, little man. So imagine that you're a citizen of the French Empire during the rule of Napoleon. I want you to write a thank you note to Napoleon where you show your appreciation for the 5 most important things he has done for you. So after reading through your resource cards, or in addition to your reading notes, if you want to use your reading notes too, I'd highly recommend it because it's extra information that these cards don't necessarily have. You're going to write a letter where you talk about the 5 most important things he's done for you. You don't have to cite them, just have to tell me what they are. Okay. If you want to cite them, it does make it easier. It gives you a little bit of practice towards your DBQ writing, but you don't have to. And I'd like you to also express your concern about at least 3 of his policies that did not help you. So you're doing a thank you letter writing to Napoleon about, dear Emperor Napoleon, thank you for your service to me as a Frenchman or woman, French person, a citizen of France. Thank you for your rule. These are the great things you have done for me in my life. And then you're just going to write those out after reading about them. And then you're also going to tell me some concerns you have with at least 3 of Napoleon's policies, because there were more than 3 that actively sucked. Some of them were pretty good. Okay, like he added the Napoleonic Code. He added a couple other great things like the new tax system, more efficient bureaucracy, stuff like that. But I'm looking to see you practice doing some counter argument. That's what this is all about. I want to see you write something saying, thank you, sir, these are great things. But on the other hand, these things are kind of not great. So the net result is, and then just kind of finish that out. So the way I'm going to evaluate this has to be written in the form of a thank you note. And from the point of view of a citizen of the French Empire, be creative, use your imagination. This should include information about your gender that you're going to be presenting yourself as in this writing. You pick whatever you want. I don't mind. Your age, your job, your family, where you live, your social class. Include all those different things. Like include an explanation of who you are in the French Empire. Are you a member of the bourgeois? One of the people that is an educated middle class with a business. You have a little bit of experience running your own business. You have a little bit of money, stuff like that. Are you a peasant? Are you a former noble? Who are you in Napoleon's society? And explains the 5 most important things Napoleon has done for you, expresses concern about at least 3 that did not serve you well, and includes historically accurate references to specific people, places, events, legislation. You have to actually talk about the history. Okay? This is going to be due until Sunday. This is your only assignment until next week when we start reviewing for our final, which I'll explain on Monday when I'm back in class. But that is the game plan. Okay? If you guys have any questions, oh, there's Wedge. Hi, Wedge. And then I guess I could show you. Well, no, I can't because it would require. Well, my dog and I are matching today. Nova, Nova, come say hi. Say hi. Good girl. Okay. So that is the game plan. If you guys have any questions, I'll have the Go Guardian up and running during your class. You can use the chat on there, or you can always email me. I am more than available. In addition to that, I have a dog joke for you. Actually, I'm gonna find a good dog joke. Okay, this should be good. Amazing, awful dog jokes. Huh. Why do you need a license for a dog and not for a cat? It's because cats can't drive. Never mind, these are terrible. I have made a mistake. Oh wait, no, this looks pretty good. How did the little Scottish dog react when he met the Loch Ness monster? He was terrified. That one's pretty good. Actually, I like that one. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Have a good day. If you guys need me, I will be available. Let me know.